more races. I think the only person we've seen do it was Stravos, I believe, so far. So be interesting to see how many people added in. I know Tyrone has been doing attempts with it in the runs, so I'm sure more and more runners will be doing that as we see times going on. Are there comms here? Monka S. Can the viewers hear us?
Alright, there are, okay.
Hello, testing, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I don't know. Something loose in the back room. I don't know. Our tech team is working on it. Got a team of hamsters running on the wheel. The monkeys are banging their rocks together. Figuring it out.
Yeah, they are a rather advanced species of monkeys, at least, though, so we've only got the best animals working at the cool cat gang as LightRon takes a bonk on its dive up here to the chain chomp.
We're gonna attract PETA if we keep this line of questioning, this line of speaking up. I don't really know if we should stick with that backstory.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. We have human volunteers working behind the scenes.
So both players here rolling into Cascade Kingdom. Going to opt to not go for DSS. Not a huge shocker. Only a couple people in the league. I think really only Dansta really committing to DSS in races. I can't really think of anybody else who's been committing to it. Can you think of anybody else who's been doing a lot of DSS in the races?
No, I mean, I'm looking here at the trick sheet as well, and Dansta is the only person who's gone for it a lot. I mean, we've seen Triple 3 successful attempts and PsioNick 1 successful attempt, and that was first try, but nobody goes for it consistently like Dansta does.
Yeah, Dansta kind of a giga Chad, not gonna lie. Had that bit of an upsetting race last week. I'm not gonna go too much into detail about which race that was, but oh my god, gotta say that was a soul crusher.
Yeah, that really incredible to watch at the very least.
Oh yeah, it was great to watch, and then you're like, oh damn, Dansta had to experience that. That was a race perspective someone had to endure firsthand. Both players here grabbing the Grand Moon. Going to be loading up the Odyssey, but we have to collect one more moon beforehand. Will it be atop the cliff, or will it be the chest moon? I'm guessing that we'll see 2 chest moons. That's my guess.
Yeah, PsioNick moving down there for the chest cliff. And LightRon, actually not, he's going to come for over the cliff here. Obviously the more consistent, but not faster by any means.
Yeah, it does lose a little bit of time. Especially considering he was already a tad bit behind here. A little bit of a rough time loss there for him, but not the end of the world. PsioNick pulling into Sand Kingdom a bit ahead. We will see. Sand is a bit of a volatile kingdom. The first kingdom where things really get a bit dicey. We'll have to see if PsioNick can hold it together. It can be a bit of a, an upsetting point for some runners, though.
Alright, hopping into the Sand Kingdom now. We'll see how these early moons go. Obviously, a reverse town.
Yeah, I'm not sure if both
in order.
I'm not sure if both will go for it. I think PsioNick will. Yeah, PsioNick going for it. LightRon. I don't know if LightRon's going for it. See, I'm not a cheater commentator. I'm not looking at the stat sheet. I'm not, using the cheat sheet, so to speak. But it looks like I was correct. LightRon not going for reverse town. A little bit of a humble brag. I gotta ask you, Dry Blacksmith, do you think, I think this is one of the biggest aspects that nobody really talks about, but it could be huge, right? Do you think either player will get sand stuck in Mario's shoes and lose a bunch of time because of that? I mean, it's got to be a factor, right?
I mean, it definitely is. Let's just get my answer out of the way. But then you have to think about, is Mario going to bother taking the shoe off and dumping the sand out? So things like that, or like, is he going to hope that when he dives that the gravity is going to help shake out a little bit and balance it out a little bit? So I'm not exactly sure how the mechanics of that whole thing work, but it's certainly a mechanic that needs to be looked at more for some frames to be saved.
Yeah, I think it's a bigger deal than people make it out to be, but we'll see if that comes into play here as PsioNick is coming up the icicle here. Usually not an issue for players of this caliber. Okay, as PsioNick slips up a tiny bit, not falling all the way down though, but you know, single bill, bullet bill jam, kind of the biggest question marks coming up. Obviously, reverse Jaxi going to be a bit of an issue as well potentially, but overall, I think these runners will have a good time here. Looks like that's a successful bullet bill jam for PsioNick. Will LightRon be able to follow that up? Definitely needs it, and looks good as well.
Yep, solid play from both players here. Into the dram, we'll see if the single bill connects. PsioNick snags it, a little bit slow there. And yeah, this does not gonna work out for him. He doesn't even bother, just because of the unoptimal position of the bullet bill, and he takes a new one. And LightRon, on the other hand, gonna hit the single bill. Of course, not gonna quite match up these runners in terms of the time lost, but LightRon, it's a really nice trick for him to hit there.
Oh yeah, that's huge. I mean, getting the single bill there, you can see the time frame like just kind of shortening right there. Like there's a huge gap between them now. It's just a few seconds, and when you're going up against somebody that has a minute better PD than you, you really need those moments, right, where PsioNick messes something up and you succeed. And there's one more right there, the bonk going for the reverse Jackson movement. PsioNick now a second or so behind.
Yeah, that was incredible. I mean, even LightRon almost made the same mistake, but he was able to dive over to the left of PsioNick. Just a little bit cleaner movement. Wow.
That was just like a galaxy brain backup, right? He sees the bullet bill. I'm sure that must be something that he's done before, maybe not, but seeing the bullet bill and just having the opportunity to tie things up. I mean, we are literally neck and neck. PsioNick pulling ahead by mere frames at this point as we head over to the Oasis. That was actually like probably one of the most interesting sands that I've seen in a while.
Yeah, that was really, really cool. And I mean, that's the high-level play that we want to see from these runners, where they're kind of back and forth. And those backups, like in the race setting, and especially at this late in the league, it'll be those backups that'll allow you to stay competitive with your opponent, and that's what's going to matter at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's always kind of a toss-up when you get one of these, like, you know, both players are high level, their PB gap's not very large. You know, they're both playing the game pretty solidly. It's interesting, right? Because it's not like in other, like, really hyper-competitive games where the like, top-tier players that are playing in, like, some sort of competitive league, they literally, like, wake up, they just play their game, and they go to sleep, and then they wake up the next day and they play their game. They, like, most people that speedrun have like jobs or like school or like another hobby or like other stuff they do. So you know, some players can just kind of like fall off a little bit, and they're not really playing. They don't really care so much one week. They might quote unquote throw a match, you know, not necessarily intentionally, but you know, they show up and they can't quite perform at their highest caliber. But this is definitely looking like one of those races where both players are hot, they're on it, and these guys are competing at a super high level. You love to see it.
Yeah, that is really important to mention. Like, these runners, they're not, for the most part, these are not their full-time jobs or anything like that. So the amount of skill that they're showing off here is absolutely nutty, and the consistency that they play at, even with different factors in their real lives that could throw them off one match to the next. Just a small missed spin pound there from LightRon on that first lake moon. We're going to see the lake clip here, though. That's going to be the biggest time difference here in the kingdom, I believe.
Yeah, very solid from both players, though. LightRon just lagging behind a little bit here, and we're kind of seeing that effect where PsioNick's, you know, minute PB is definitely showing here. I mean, you can definitely tell that the minor movements here and there are like just slightly better than LightRon's, but LightRon so far has just been able to be consistent enough with all the important tricks where it's not been a huge issue. He's just been more, consistent across the board with those really big time saves, and PsioNick gonna have to keep the pedal to the metal, not give any more room for error, because LightRon is definitely not gonna give up easily.
Yeah, not at all. I mean, we'll see the gap widen and tighten throughout the race, of course, and especially in the later kingdoms. Right now, in the early game, it's really, really small things and not a time difference greater than 10 seconds. So see PsioNick hop in here and finish up the kingdom talking to the mermaid, and LightRon's gonna do the same here. And we're gonna be moving into the wooded kingdom pretty shortly, just a cutscene or two away. And that's where a lot of things can kind of change up with different routes and mistakes and backups and things like that. And I think Wooded is a great show of both mechanical skill, but also your ability to think on your feet and react to what may go wrong, especially in a race setting.
Yeah, Wooded. I mean, we can't say that Lake and, Sand for any... I'm definitely not Sand. Lake, I don't know, but Sand is definitely not an easy kingdom by any means. But Wooded is like kind of the first stop where you're like, I don't know, this is kind of scary. This is where runs die. This is where, runs get really handicapped in terms of the time. But I think that both runners can have a solid nut clip. We're going to get through this level, no problem. I don't want to see any deaths. I'm really, really down to curse runners most times, but these guys are just playing really solidly. I want to see this race be close for at least a couple more kingdoms here.
Yeah, that would be good.
Player's going to be slamming a boulder into a rabbit's face here. Very questionable stuff, but very fast. You love to see it. And a couple more moons here to snag before the dreaded nut clip moon. Chatter's apparently not on the side of the commentary, does not want to see a close race. We apparently want to see a deep woods from one of these players. I don't know if I can agree with that. Deep woods is kind of scary. It's dark down there. There's a dinosaur for some reason. Oh, and LightRon taking a bonk. That is a sizable one.
Yeah, that movement is really, really tight with the shrine bounces that you have to do up the edge. And a lot of things can go wrong, and we just saw LightRon have that bonk miss. But we'll see how PsioNick does on this nut clip. The setup looks to be good. He is going to get the clip. Let's see if he can maintain the out of bounds at this point. LightRon's clip is good also. He's got to do that same out of bounds movement up the rock wall. As PsioNick triple jumps up the red metal slope, and he's diving on his way to the next nut moon of the kingdom. LightRon makes his dive, and that's the, I would argue, the hardest part of the kingdom done, or at least the most mechanically deep part of the kingdom.
Yeah, definitely the hardest sort of skill check is past us. What is this? What is this level? This whole Steam Gardens area? Is this a flower factory? That's why my brain tells me that's what I remember. But am I incorrect there? Is this a factory that produces flowers?
Yeah, I think it is a flower factory. I think you're right. I guess I never really thought about that. But...
Trying to get my actual lore buffed up a little bit. I'm not super knowledgeable on all the specifics of the locations and the people around them. I do know that the fork people in Luncheon are called Volbonians, I think. So that's I'm expanding my horizons.
Yeah, that's good to see. I mean, perhaps we'll get some real scientists out there and discover the origins of the Ruined Kingdom. Dude, the Ruined Kingdom Dragon is one of the coolest characters in all of Mario.
I can't tell if you're being sarcastic.
No, I am not, dude.
What?
Yes, dude. That dragon and the fact that you just destroyed the entire kingdom and just sits there chilling, I find that to be very cool.
An awkward silence enters the commentary booth. I'm not sure how to respond nicely.
Oh no.
I don't know how you think that the Druid Dragon is cool. I don't know. I think it's probably the most boring kingdom in the game, but that's okay. We can agree to disagree on that one. All right, Flooded Pipes for PsioNick coming up. Gonna be a point of contention for sure. Needs to keep it tight here. LightRon is right behind him. Does have a little bit larger of a gap. What the heck was that? Okay, okay. Spin, pound, jump, dive, cap throw. Okay. That's exactly what LightRon needed there, as these cycles are all messed up. PsioNick losing a bunch of time, was doing some complete nonsense. Perhaps controller being caught in some sort of tornado vortex. PsioNick, yeah, there's no cycle to make here. This is just kind of like backyard.
Oh man, and more damage. This is very goofy. That's the word I would use to describe it. Now LightRon a mere 2 or 3 seconds behind.
And LightRon
even
just,
the
manifesting into the layout there. That was kind of spooky, honestly. It was like a LightRon jump scare.
Yeah, he's here now.
Oh man. All right, yeah. I mean, he did arrive. That was definitely LightRon arriving back into the race, and it's been kind of the story this entire race here is PsioNick just pulling ahead slightly, and then just making one big mistake, and LightRon's back in it. So we'll see if that continues, or if LightRon's just able to keep pace here. I mean, LightRon's definitely capable. I mean, you got the stat sheet open. What were these guys' sum of best looking like?
Head to head. Alright. Neither of them are using the plugin.
Well,
for best possible times. Sum of best is a 50 cell. That's Dancer versus Stravo, so I gotta go to the other.
yes.
Momentarily.
Please stand by. We need to have some like elevator music right now. We need the seaside music to play. Sure, our production manager can get that to happen, Kappa.
Yay. Sarah, our Lord and Savior, has fixed the stat sheet.
Yay.
Alright, so yeah, on that note, the league sum of best for LightRon is a 58.41 and a 57.56 on the side of PsioNick.
Yeah, it's interesting. I wouldn't expect it to be such a large discrepancy. I don't know. I just imagined in my brain that LightRon is like the ultimate Giga Chad as he fails meme tree here. Unfortunately, this is the opposite of what we were expecting / wanting out of LightRon. We wanted him to get these, consistent big strategies. Those have been kind of carrying him so far. Those have been PsioNick's weakest point, but here in Last Kingdom, the opposite has happened, and that is exactly what we don't want to see. I mean, we were just talking about the sum of best for PsioNick is stronger, and these big tricks need to go in LightRon's favor.
Yeah, that's what LightRon's looking for right now in a run, or in a race where your opponent has a PB that's 58 seconds better than yours, right? It's all about hitting the tricks that they don't, because like if they play at their peaks, then PsioNick wins, right? PsioNick just has naturally better movement from being a 58 runner and nearly a 57 runner. It's and we've seen it throughout the race so far, is that those small tricks that PsioNick tends to mess up is where LightRon needs to pull ahead a little bit and just see how that balances out for him. And even then, the reverse torpedo not going to connect for him, and this is a pretty bad loss from him. I hate to say it, but
oh my gosh. Commentator being extremely rude to the players. Can never say a negative thing about the players is banned, Kappa. I used to get really like scared. I remember one time I commentated a race and I said something negative about a player and they got really mad at me, and then I could never say anything negative for like a year, and then I was like, you know what, like I don't know. People gotta have a little bit thicker skin. Like if you're gonna show up and race, someone says you had a bad loss or you had a bad whatever. Like, I don't know. Have a better loss.
Yeah, yeah, for real. I'm not gonna like
I don't know.
slander LightRon's character, but if he had a bad loss, I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, we do love LightRon. I'm a big LightRon fan. I'm not gonna lie. If there was ever a biased commentator in booth, it would be me in a LightRon match. I think LightRon has been in like every single CCG tournament ever for any percent. Pretty epic.
Yeah, for real. A lawyer, epic, cool cat gamer indeed.
Be interesting to like go back and see what LightRon's PB was when he signed up for the like OG any percent tournament.
That would be interesting, yeah.
I think that is an interesting thing that just happened in the chat room. Apparently a LightRon fan blessing LightRon's run, but not happening on the screen. I don't know what kind of blessing this is, but the fans in the chat room, I don't know. Maybe stick to copy pastas. The blessing's not working out. The hashtags, I don't know if those are working, but PsioNick suddenly is dead inside of City Hall. LightRon falling down. What is going on? This is absolute Mario madness here on the screen. Suddenly both players dropping entire spaghetti sauce containers. Like the entire jar is just broken on the floor right now. PsioNick getting Goomba Heck the second time around, but that was a sizable chunk of time lost. LightRon not feeling super confident either. Can he get the Goomba Heck himself? Can it just not go for it? Didn't vibe with that start. A little bit of missed opportunity for LightRon though again. I mean, PsioNick making a pretty sizable mistake in City Hall, but LightRon just unable to capitalize on it, unfortunately.
Yeah, that was absolutely wild. As Saren mentioned, the spaghetti sauce is on the floor. Shards of the glass are oh no!
Oh, that is rough. I didn't even see specifically what happened. I just heard the absolutely most devastating oh no I've ever heard in my entire life, followed by seeing LightRon dive all the way down City Hall. So yeah, I'm gonna say that was probably not good for LightRon.
Yeah, he didn't get the cap with bounce when he was diving off this platform, and he dove too early. It was really awkward, but yeah, that was disastrous. Perhaps 2 or 3 spaghetti jars on the floor right now, broken open. Smells of tomatoes, no doubt about that, with a little bit of basil. Let's see if he can cook up a decent meal now in the Mecha Wiggler fight, as PsioNick is gonna hit the 2 cycle, thankfully.
I'm getting kind of hungry. I wouldn't mind a nice spaghetti meal. These guys would mind serving up some more spaghetti. Honestly, like, it was looking really hot earlier. I didn't want to see any mistakes, but now, like, all bets are off. I want to see some mistakes. I want to see some deaths. I want to see some, like, absolute nonsense. That's my favorite kind of Super Mario Odyssey racing, to be quite honest, when everything just completely goes wrong. But we'll see. We'll see if runners can keep it together.
Yeah, I'm definitely with you on that one. Mario Meltdowns in this game just add a little something extra than they do in some other games. I do love bad Mario Odyssey play, as funny as it sounds.
I mean, I think part of the reason is in this game, like, it's very, very hard to, like, die and just, like, get reset on the level and you just, like, try it again, where in, like, a lot of other Mario games, like, you make a big mistake, you die, you restart, and you just do exactly what you do over. Like, in this game, it's like, you mess up and then you get completely thrown off. You're, like, in a weird spot you've never been before, or, like, you're just completely out of your element in terms of moves, or, like, where you're positioned next to a platform or something. You're kind of forced to just, you know, work with it. Just make up some backups if you don't already have some in your pocket, and I don't know. It's fun to see players, like, just having to do some crazy stuff. It'd be really cool to see, like, an actual, like, randomizer for this game where, you know, you have to maybe explore more parts of levels than you would otherwise. That'd be definitely a fun tournament. But
Yeah,
I
that
think
would be really cool.
I think we're a little ways off of that
Yeah,
right now.
just
I'm sure it's like
randomizing
2025
sub areas.
strats.
That is 2025 stuff, but probably 2% tournament win.
I feel like an entrance randomizer wouldn't be that hard to make.
Oh yeah, if we randomized all the sub areas, that'd be pretty fun.
Actually, that might be really hard to make. Never mind. uh, never mind.
Oh, because like between the kingdoms, yeah.
Yeah. I just realized like the game probably preloads some of those things. Like it doesn't just randomly load them.
Commentators in the booth trying to comment on game design. As far as I know, neither of us know anything about game design, unfortunately.
I watched some YouTube series about designing games. Sometimes I'm a master.
Oh, true.
Coded a RuneScape private server one time. I'm kind of deep in there.
Oh, holy, yeah.
Alright, so both players, of course, doing the bullet building route. PsioNick well out of the other side of the bullet building. LightRon with a pretty significant deficit at this point. This dude has got to blast right now. He's got to get his Mario shoes on. I don't know what he's wearing right now. Must not be the appropriate brand of sneakers. PsioNick climbing up this tower here. Going to be able to skip over the Luigi hint art in the pool. Very cool. How is this not an Urban Art segue? Oh my god. How are you not an Urban Art segue? I honestly have no idea what you're talking about, Troy, but I do love Urban Arts. They are pretty cool.
Oh, yeah, we're talking about game development. That's a good point. I've been out of the booth for a while. I have lost my ability to segue into these plugs, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's a good point. That'd probably be a good one. Oh, okay. PsioNick doing reverse people's room. We just completely ignored that. That's very cool. Reverse people's room. That's something you don't see every day, but PsioNick just busting it out in a race. Okay.
Yeah, that was actually crazy. That's not something I see a lot at all, especially in these races. It's easier to forget it exists if you don't watch a lot of high-level Odyssey, for sure.
Moon Wrong Warp. I mean, people memed about Moon Warp in Majora's Mask for like 10 years, and then someone found Moon Warp in Majora's Mask, so I mean, never say never.
Yeah, that's true.
The thing about video games is that for some reason you can just kind of force them to do whatever you want as long as you spend enough time. It's very strange. Like, it's actually kind of crazy, like, when you think about it, like, some of the stuff that people do and, like, not even, like, task speedruns, like, just, like, arbitrary code execution, like, done by a human. It's, like, the weirdest stuff on the planet.
Yeah. It's absolutely wild.
We don't talk about any percent OOT devious. It's a forbidden category.
Forbidden category.
I think there is devious. I think. Oh, Dan already answered your question and said yes. So yes. Yes, there is.
Yes.
Very cool. I totally knew it. So PsioNick deep into Shiveria town here. Going to be going for the moon clip as LightRon is looking to join PsioNick in Shiveria. I don't think that LightRon's going to be able to make up the difference in this kingdom. Unless PsioNick were to have some sort of meltdown here in the Blowy Joey room or on Snowdram, but those two things are quite unusual at this level. These racers, very, very solid at Snow Kingdom. I don't expect to see much variation here.
Yeah, really solid play from PsioNick right now, and I mean, it's what you expect at a 58, 57 level, and it's really nice to see him continue this throughout the race. And we might see another kind of signature PsioNick meltdown for LightRon to catch up, but oh, and LightRon messing up that snow clip there, but this Snow Kingdom should hopefully be pretty tame.
Goomba Vector's coming out for PsioNick. Very cool stuff here in the ice room. Not sure why I called it the ice room. I think everybody on planet Earth calls it the Goomba room, but I'm going to call it the ice room from now on. It is icy.
It is icy, you're not wrong about that. Alright, PsioNick entering the shop, and then Dram shortly after that. We'll see how LightRon handles the ice room, the Goomba room here.
Oh my god, did you see that sick shopkeeper talk from PsioNick? That was insane. That was crazy. How did you do that? He talked from so far away. Must be a wizard. Absolutely shouting across the shop there.
I would like to buy a power moon, sir. Very quickly. You know, I gotta wonder why Nintendo did not put the power moon as the first option and made you cursor over.
I don't know. I hate it. It's really awful. I would love if you just spam A.
Because how many people really buy King Heart at the shop?
Is that what that's called?
Oh, I have no idea. Probably like a life up heart or something like that. I just see it has a crown, so.
I think it's more like a queen heart. I think it's like more like a queen symbol.
That could be true.
Looks like a queen from like a chessboard.
Fair enough.
LightRon is slamming out a hot Snowdram there. Managing to keep pace, but needs to find some sort of opening here, and I think PsioNick's got to make that opening for him as we are rolling into Seaside here, which is a little bit more interesting than it used to be, for sure. You know, outside of obviously the Gush and Room movement, which is very poggers and epic, you got Fish Dip, which is very, very cool, very epic, and I think both players will be going for it at this point. Be very shocked to see either player not. I just noticed that there is a wine bottle on the map. Very cool.
It is pretty cool.
We got tacos and a wine bottle. We got an entire like meal. FFS, faster fish skip. I like that name better than Fish and Dips. I think Fish and Dips is you know, I'm not gonna finish that sentence. I don't want to anger anyone or start a fight. I think Fish and Dips is a great name. I love it. Such
Fish
a
and
good
Dip
name.
is so awesome.
Such a great name, and I'm so glad that PsioNick just got it there.
Will Goku.
Oh, LightRon with some beautiful looking movement in the Gush room, but unfortunately not grabbing the moon, having absolutely no reaction on the face cam. I actually was convinced it's frozen for a little bit, but he is blinking, I think. Some sort of facial movements. Definitely see the screen lighting changing, so 100% LightRon is actually being filmed right now, but that is it's like slippery nip levels of just not caring right there. I was just like absolute stone face.
Yeah, no, his camera's functional, but his humanity is certainly questionable there.
Oh, I thought you were. I thought you specifically said you weren't going to call into question LightRon's character earlier. Now questioning his
Oh,
humanity. I don't know. Might have to send LightRon some clips of this to
uh-oh.
just let him know what's going on here. It's okay. I question LightRon's humanity as well. I mean, this dude's a machine. This dude cranks out the hot pacers, that's for sure. But unfortunately today, going up against a pretty fierce opponent. I mean, PsioNick is not, you know, one of the players in the league you go up against and you're like, all right, I got a sub hour. As long as I get another sub hour, you know, this player has a 100 or, you know, something like that. Like, PsioNick almost got a 57. Like, this dude is cruising in pretty much every run he's in.
Yeah, no, he's absolutely zooming at the moment, no doubt about that.
LightRon has a super dope live split layout. I like it a lot. I like the sideways live split layouts for 16x9 games. I think it's really good.
Yeah, they are neat.
Oh my god, devious. I need dance to priors in chat. Oh my goodness, is that the Lucid rating with a party of 67,000? Holy cow, that is a lot of gamers. Welcome in, guys and girls. We are gaming here.
No doubt about that.
At least PsioNick and LightRon are. I'm not really gaming. I'm just kind of like sitting here talking about gaming.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we're talking about the Mario. We have the easier job, I suppose, but it is a fun job. I love Mario. He's so cool and awesome, and PsioNick finally makes it up onto the top of the mountain.
Yeah, if anybody coming in from the Lucid Raid is not aware, we are hosting the Super Mario Any League here this year. It is a very fantastic, very cool tournament. We've got 12 of the hottest Any runners playing every week. We're on week number 10 at this point. So we are almost done with the regular season. One more week after this weekend. And then we have the playoffs, which are going to be the high intensity, high stakes matches. You won't want to miss it. So if you want to throw in a follow, LightRon. Missing Spiritless there. That was really an odd way to fail Spirit Skip. Yeah, this is a week 9 match. This is a match that got pushed back from last week. But we are on week 10. Trust, tomorrow is week 10. I do not lie. PsioNick managing to grab that heart there at the beginning of the room to avoid some later on refill animations. Saving a bit of time.
Alright, really nice forks room from PsioNick here. As LightRon, as previously mentioned, gonna have to go for the Spirit full route, if you will. Does diverge a little bit towards the middle of the kingdom instead of having to go for stuff like the invisible block jump, as PsioNick will. We'll have a slightly easier route, but of course slower. And we'll see how PsioNick handles these tricks that he has to do in the Luncheon Kingdom. There we go! He throws away a golden turnip. I'm not sure what the backup moon here is.
Yeah, that's actually pretty huge. We'll have to see what happens here, what the option is for PsioNick. It looks like he has something in mind. Okay, just gonna go buy a moon? What are we doing? Oh, this is already part of the route, right? So
Yeah.
what's the next moon we're going for?
Yeah, I still don't know what the backup here is.
Is it just go get the turnip again? That would be really slow.
That would be pretty slow, but I don't know. It's not something I've seen before.
I think that's going to be the play.
Yeah. I don't think he has much of an option. Yeah, there he goes.
You're very limited when you skip Spirit as to what moons you can collect here. in luncheon. We're seeing that right now, having to go all the way back here to grab the turnip. And I don't think this is gonna, you know, catch LightRon up all the way, but that is a huge time loss.
Yeah, I mean, we're not gonna quite see how Ron and Nick line up.
Oh!
Oh, finally. The stew has been cooked.
Yeah, that's a bit of a mauled right there. That's how you know you're having some struggles. As LightRon is going for this movement. I don't even know if this saves time when you have not skipped Spirit, but we are doing it anyways. LightRon. Smiling, a little bit happy with himself there. Okay, I don't know if he was hitting himself for being dumb or he had a mosquito on his head. But yeah, collecting a turnip, that is not going to be useful.
Yeah, a bit of an awkward moment for LightRon as he believes that he's still doing Spiritless. He is, in fact, not doing that route here. But moves on to collect the Story Moon. Does not do Invisiblock Jump.
Shout out to Enemy in the chat room, #1 commentator in our hearts and minds, who should be on vacation right now, but is for some reason hanging out in the Cool Cat Gang channel. I mean, I can't blame him. I don't know anywhere I would rather be than here, quite honestly.
Yeah, this is a great place to be, whether you're in the booth, in the chat, in the... What do you call the place the racers are in?
Their house.
I don't know if I'd want to be in LightRon's house, but...
What did you try to say about LightRon's house?
I'm just saying, it might be a laboratory of some sort.
Dude's questioning LightRon's humanity. He's questioning LightRon's, like, living conditions. I don't know. Dry block spin. What do you got against LightRon? Let it all out.
Look, I'm just saying he may not be fully a biological life form. There could be a little bit of cyborg shenanigans going on. Perhaps jacked into his Nintendo Switch developed by Nintendo to play this game a little bit faster.
Whoa. Those are some heavy accusations. We'll get our referee team on it, don't worry. Make sure everything is clean and legal here.
Alright, that's good.
So as you can see on your screens with both of your eyeballs, PsioNick here is quite a bit ahead still. So although those were some pretty massive mistakes in Luncheon Kingdom, you know, LightRon's still not catching up quite yet. Need some other assistance, but we have seen some pretty sizable late game upsets here in the league in recent times. So I would definitely not call it out of the question. I think I was one of the first people complaining about the fact that nobody makes mistakes anymore in these Super Mario Any % League matches. But that's just not true. That was proven almost immediately false by several different gamers making some very interesting mistakes. So, you know, these runners are human, contrary to some commentators' beliefs, and they can make mistakes. So, PsioNick gonna have to keep it together here. We're headed into Bowser's, into Moon Kingdom. These are some hard kingdoms.
Yeah, we've got a small break here in the Ruined Kingdom with one of the coolest characters in all of the Mario franchise. I know that's a touchy subject with some people.
So cool. It's a dragon. Shoots electricity.
I love dragons. I love electricity.
You know who else I love? Urban Arts. They're pretty epic.
God. Urban Arts is my favorite.
Did you know that the School of Interactive Arts, Urban Arts multi-year college prep program helps students learn the arts and technologies behind game design? It's pretty epic.
That is super epic. The arts and technologies behind game design. It's a really important field in the modern day. Of course, a fun field to get into as well. And these children who go through this program helps to prepare them for college, of course, with a 100% acceptance rate into colleges after they've gone through this program. It's an incredible thing for these underprivileged children to be accepted into this program and kind of work on these fun and important skills for the modern world.
I mean, we say children a lot. I mean, they're not that young. They're like 16, 17 years old. You know,
Yes,
they're seniors in high school. They get sent to this program to get prepped for college. So they're young adults. Okay, they're not quite, you know, children in my opinion. I don't know.
yeah,
But
no, that's true.
yeah, we are trying to get some kids into college. You can also support. We are running a spring fundraiser for them. Very epic, very cool! Exclamation point donate in the chat. If you can spare like $5, $10, you know, whatever you got in your back pocket, burning a hole in it, you would love to send it over to Urban Arts. Trying to raise over $500 for them this spring. Fundraising's scary. Fundraising's hard, but we are trying to help give back here on the Cool Cat Gang. So if you got a couple bucks, that would be epic. And PsioNick here, gonna be the first to roll into Bowser's Kingdom. These Goombas very, very shocked at Mario. Not very good guards. Gonna let him roll on by. But things will get more dicey here as things continue. I think we saw Dance to... How many times did Dance to die on blind jump? Like 3 times or something? It was a moment.
Yeah, this Bowser's Kingdom can have some really awkward moments if you're not prepared for it, and even if you are prepared for it. It's a tough kingdom, lots of different mechanical mistakes that can happen with boss fights and just overall jumps and movement throughout the kingdom. It's very dangerous just with lots of pits and things like that, where you're gonna take a death for a lot of mistakes that you may make as opposed to just a bonk and losing 5 seconds.
PsioNick is quite a bit ahead though, grabbing these shards. Looking pretty hot while doing it. We'll see if the bird list is good. Looks like we're just not going to go for it. Gonna grab a Pokio here. Lose a little bit of time, but not a huge deal. Let me cover for you, PsioNick. Come on. I can just say whatever, and the chat will definitely believe me.
That's true, you are in a strong position of authority here.
Oh my god, LightRon rolling straight off the edge, bonking the wall, and taking a death. That is the opposite of what we needed to happen here to make this a close race. Unfortunately, LightRon falling even further behind. That is definitely rough for our French friend, but you know, he's still slugging away. He's not giving up. That's what you like about LightRon. He's not a dude that's gonna sit there and give up. You know, he has his on days, he has his off days, but he's always there giving all of his effort, and that's one of the things that I personally really like about LightRon is, you know, every time you talk to him in the interview booth, it's never like, oh, that was a shit run, you know, I'm gonna quit the game. It's always like, you know, maybe that was a good run, maybe that was a bad run, but, you know, I'm gonna keep slugging, I'm gonna keep trying my hardest, and I'm gonna come back harder next time, which I super love it. I love the mentality. Dude's got a good head on his shoulders. Just unfortunately is not making it happen this race.
Yeah, it is unfortunate. I mean, it's a hard race to win, like, just looking at the numbers, right? There were a lot of things that needed to go wrong for PsioNick, for LightRon to win this. And even we had LightRon has some things go wrong himself as well, so... in a race like this, you're looking to capitalize off the mistakes of your opponent, and if you're making pretty major mistakes like LightRon has here, like with that death we just had recently and throughout the whole race, then it becomes a really hard battle.
And PsioNick here wrapping up the bunnies fights, headed up to the mech, but does have to make a bit of a climb, and we actually have seen some huge lead swaps in just this section here. So, you know, we'll see if PsioNick's able to make it look easy. It is not the hardest climb in the world, but when you're going fast, you're trying to cut corners, it can get a little bit dicey. This jump here in particular is quite a difficult one. You're jumping without really seeing where you're going, but PsioNick making it look easy. Has the angles down pat. Gonna be making his way up the Pokio wall. If we see a death here on the Pokio wall, I will retire. I will never ever again do commentary. We will forever just sit here and watch silent Mario races if there's no other commentators. But PsioNick saving. I don't know. I don't know if he's saving anybody, honestly. Maybe you guys want me to get the hell out of here. But yeah, definitely making that not happen as he rolls into the mech fight.
No, if we saw the death on the Pokio wall, I think Saren might have to hop on the other side of the screen and start playing some Mario for us, to be honest.
Oh no. No. Never. I've tried that before, it doesn't go well. One thing I really want to talk about though, something that's really upsetting, is the fact that the economy on these brutal fights is just so messed up. Sometimes they give you a Grand Moon, and then all of a sudden, here at the very end of the game, you fight 2 brutals in a row and you get 1 moon. Like, what? Like, what is that?
Yeah,
like, why does
0 sense.
Why does Spirit give you 3 moons in like Wooded Kingdom, for example, and then one in Luncheon Kingdom, and then 2 brutals here in Bowser's gives you 1 moon? Like, come on, what's going on here? Where are these extra moons going?
That is true. It is very interesting. I mean, perhaps the Mushroom Kingdom in this game was entering a bit of a recession. I mean, especially in the 80% run where you're not going to be fixing the energy economy in New Donk City, it could become an issue, and perhaps just the Brutals are a little bit cost strained. The funding just is not quite there.
Possible. Alright, will we get Harriet acquired here? That's the question on everybody's minds. Oh my god, he did it. What a gamer. And of course, killing Topper, you know, that's the easy one. Solid job by LightRon. Unfortunately for him, PsioNick also having a very fantastic mech fight, keeping things under control.
He is. This is a pretty solid run for PsioNick, at least in context of the race here. We'll see what the time ends up being shortly.
Yeah, as we're rolling into Moon Kingdom here, Landon on the side of PsioNick. I gotta remind everybody, you know, we are getting really, really close to 2,000 followers here on the Cool Cat Gang, and we are going to have a ton more SMO content, a ton more speedrunning content coming up this year. You're going to want to follow. I can't talk about everything we're going to be having coming up, but definitely going to be worth, you know, sticking around, checking out some more races. You can also always check out the schedule using the exclamation point schedule. It's a little bit sparse right now. Got a lot of big events in the back room being worked on, but definitely keep your eyes on that for the weekly schedules. And then, you know, we also plan ahead a little bit on there. So if you want to see what's coming up, always peek your head in there, see if there's anything being announced for the future. We also throw them in the Discord and the Twitter and all that stuff. So exclamation point socials in the chat if anyone wants to drop that. If you want to go follow Cool Cat Gang on our social media. But PsioNick just kind of made One Wall Moon Cave skip just look really easy. That was pretty hot.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful. And yeah, as Saren mentioned, we do a lot of special event type stuff lately on this channel. I mean, we've had the Super Paper Mario races, we had a couple of Minecraft events, and all boxes showdown in Super Mario 64, so we have a lot of different stuff going on that it's a little bit special and not necessarily league or tournament format if you're into that kind of thing too. Diversify your speedrunning and viewership, as PsioNick is going to head into the Bowser fight, and that's first phase from him.
LightRon going for his own one wall here. Makes it work. Oh my gosh, the things speedrunners do to like cut corners is so scary. Like that dive there that LightRon just did to make it over the edge is, I mean, you fail that, you're just dead. Like, and it saves probably like 0.2 or something. I mean, like, obviously I don't exactly like how much that particular movement saved over like doing like a backflip or something. I don't know, but like, speedrunners are crazy. Why do they gotta be like this?
Yeah, for real. Absolutely nutty, wild, all of the synonyms possible. PsioNick moving into the collapse section of the moon cave now.
I still want Bowser vectoring to become a thing. I know I've said that before, people are like, that's not a thing, but I just want it to be a thing.
That
Maybe
would be
Miyamoto,
fun.
if you're listening, Super Mario Odyssey 2, I want Bowser vectoring. Okay, PsioNick going for 2DSS.
Oh, that was a little bit funny for a second there, though. I was ready.
Yeah, an interesting decision to go for it too. I mean, considering this one was a race we had to pre-record, he had no idea where his opponent would have been. So going for 2DSS in this situation is a little bit Monka, but maybe feeling really confident with it recently. Just wants to go for it once in races. I think that's definitely fair. Does save a good chunk of time.
Yeah, that it does.
We are deep into the Cat Jam room though now. I've seen 0 Cat Jams, 1 Peped in the chat. I cannot believe it. The Cool Cat Jam army has fallen. This is an absolute nightmare. I might have to leave the booth. Okay, we have 1 Cat Jam. It's even across the board. The Duck Jam army showing up to party. You like to see that. Dry Block's been saving the day. Is PsioNick gonna be busting out the wire here with the 59, 45, 46, I think it was a 45, yeah, okay. Numbers. Very good run either way. Sub-hour in a race. It's hot. Oh man, even some Jat cammers in the chat. That's an interesting one. I've not seen that one. I think Duck Jam is severely underused in this chat, especially during the Cat Jam room. I also really wish that Come On Dance was used more, because Come On Dance is probably one of my favorite emojis in the channel.
Yeah, that was really fun. No doubt about that. But yeah, PsioNick, GG's to him. 59.45 in the race. Solid sub-hour showing. And even if it is over a minute above his PB, it is like a sub-hour time is still extremely impressive, even if it's been achieved a while ago, and we are entering the 56 territory now. Well, Tyrone's entering the 56 territory now. It is still an incredibly strong race time, as we'll see LightRon finishing it up with an equally respectable 101.
Oh. I don't know why I got so upset to see PsioNick's pregame practice being replayed and seeing him miss the turnip, but that was painful to watch. LightRon finishing with a 101.19. Probably not exactly what he was hoping for, but considering the circumstances, I think that is a decent time to get here. Just a little bit unfortunate he wasn't able to, bring his A game. It was looking really good at the beginning, right? PsioNick making those big mistakes here and there, having the nicer movement overall, but just given those opportunities to LightRon, just didn't turn out that way in the end. Unfortunately, the shoe kind of went onto the other foot, and at the end of the day, PsioNick coming home the victor. Both these guys, though, looking in a hot position to move on to the playoffs. Looking over at the standings right now, Where is LightRon in the standings? So LightRon probably going to drop down to 7th place, I would guess, after this one. Actually, maybe not. The points looking pretty good for LightRon right now. I think LightRon's going to keep the 6th place position. It's very strange right now. We have a couple of matches that are outstanding from one player in the league. We're getting those situated this weekend. So then we'll know a little bit more about the playoff picture talking forward next weekend. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. I think the 8th versus 9th place is gonna be within question. We'll have to see what happens. I think Jambo's gonna be fine to make it on through though. I mean, Jambo's one match down and 120 points above Shemcat, so we're kind of locked in. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, I can't even hype it up.
Yeah.
Looking at the numbers. All right. Okay. Whatever. It's unlocked. Look, we're still gonna play the races. So definitely stick around. We have one more match coming up after this one. Speed versus Shemcat. And it's worth mentioning that the seeding points do matter a lot. If you have, a seeding position where you're having to go against the first seed, Tyrone, gonna be a little bit scarier, right? So, we'll see who comes in at 8th place, who comes in at 7th place. But yeah, Dr. Y, do you have any more things to say before we sign off here?
Hello, PsioNick. He's arrived.
Oh my god.
I kind of just wanted to join because I think my profile picture is funny.
I don't even know who you are.
The big cheese from Toontown.
Oh, okay, yeah. I totally played that game.
I missed playing that game.
So, PsioNick, how do you feel about this race that you did like a week ago? Do you remember anything about it besides what you saw today?
Actually, I could look back at the splits. Scrolling. Oh, here it is. Oh yeah, the sand was bad. Oh, the cascade, actually. That was a pretty good cascade. 310 without DSS. That's pretty good. I mean, it didn't feel really special at all, but it was good. The sand, though, I don't really remember what happened, but yeah, we don't talk about the sand. The wooded was also bad. Oh yeah, it's kind of like I 3-cycled in the Metro, but I didn't actually 3-cycle. I think I died in City Hall, didn't I? I don't know if you remember.
Did you die or did you just fall? Oh no, you did die. You like ground pounded down in the pit.
Yeah, I think I tried to back up Goomba Heck, and then I just completely flubbed that. The end game was good except for Luncheon. I lost another 40 seconds to Turnip. Dude, Turnip has been messing with me recently. I need to stop messing that up. Not like I can control it that much sometimes, but I'll try my best. I'll keep practicing it, even though I practice it like every day. It's so hard not to mess up and mess well, it's easy not to lose 40 seconds. That's where I'm kind of I shouldn't be losing 40 seconds. Like at most I should be losing like 20 if I mess up. I shouldn't be losing 40. To Turnip till One Moon. But the rest of the run was good. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, dropping that Turnip into the Pepto-Bismol abyss was pretty tragic, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I was kind of praying that there was some sort of backup that I somehow didn't know about, but yeah, having to go all the way back is a little bit rough.
What I should have done was went back immediately, but I did not. I did not do that. I probably would have saved like 15 seconds if I did that. But yeah, like 4 splits I lost a lot of time and the rest of the run was fine. Would have been like a mid 58 without, well, I can say that all I want, but
yeah, would have been world record if you just didn't mess up anything. So
yeah, would have been world record if I tied my sob. Actually, my sob is 1 second better than world record now. That's kind of scary.
Pause. It's possible.
Insane.
Tarma's inching towards my sob. I'm terrified. But yeah, the realm was good. Somewhat. I'm happy about it.
All right, well, we are going to wrap things up for this one, I think, and get set for Speed versus Shemcat coming right up. We got some epic commentators lined up as well. I hope you are excited. Remember to follow the racers, follow me and Dribble, and also follow RTA Dan, who is doing the restream today. Very epic, very cool, and we will see you back in about 10 to 15 minutes for Speed versus Shemcat.